Will XRP, Solana, and other crypto ETFs save crypto? Whether we're in a bull market or bear market, I honestly have no idea. All I can do is simply look at the different fundamental news stories that are coming in from institutions, from people in the crypto industry, just everything that's happening in general, and then decide as time goes on. One thing I will say is that institutions are extremely interested in Bitcoin, in crypto, in ETFs, and really vertically integrating crypto into traditional finance's day-to-day movements. And the amount of money that these guys have compared to our $4 trillion market cap is astounding. So I'm not saying it's over yet. I'm not saying it's back on again. I just want to present you some information from the institutions, from some of the spot ETF inflows, and what we're expecting to happen with XRP spot ETFs, with Solana spot ETFs, with HBAR ETFs, and many, many more. Because part of the issue with the crypto crash that happened was liquidity. There was not enough liquidity to cover everything. And liquidity has always been a kind of an issue in crypto, but not in traditional finance. These guys have endless amounts of liquidity because they use something called fiat currency, which can simply get printed and they can continue to borrow on it. Monday, today, October 13th, 2025, within 10 minutes of the spot Bitcoin ETFs opening up, trading volume surpassed $1 billion. Yes, $1 billion in the first 10 minutes. And this is just with Bitcoin spot ETFs. Can you imagine once we have all of these different crypto spot ETFs? Now segueing into options ETFs, because again, we have options, we have futures, we have spot, we have leverage, many, many different types of derivatives. So CME Group launches options on XRP and Solana. Those are officially available to trade. What is an option? Let me explain it to you because it can get a little bit complicated because in traditional finance, there's just so many derivatives on derivatives on derivatives. And we're talking about a derivative. It is just a little bit of a modification of an original product. So options are financial contracts that give you the right, but not the obligation to buy or sell an asset at a specific price before a set date. For the Solana and XRP options ETFs, these are new products that offer both standard and micro-sized contracts with expirations available daily, monthly, and quarterly. So you can basically enter into these and customize them up to, whatever the institutions are allowing you to. The options are physically settled into their underlying futures, giving traders flexible exposure to Solana and XRP. And the launch follows strong demand. Over 540,000 SOL and 370,000 XRP futures contracts have been traded since their launches earlier this year. And major crypto firms like Cumberland and Falcon Maps are backing the expansion, and they call it a key step in meeting institutional demand. The key word here is institutional demand because, again, in the beginning of this video, we talked about how much money institutions have. And in addition to that, they use something called fiat currency, which they can print, and then continue to take out debt against to get more or borrow more, whatever. And even though the government is shut down, there's still a lot of talk about these XRP spot ETFs and just these crypto ETFs in general. I think it was last week someone filed for like 300 or 400 plus just different types of crypto ETFs. Right now, when we're talking about spot ETFs, there was a batch of amendments between Bitwise, Franklin, 21 Shares, Wisdom Tree, Grayscale, Canary. They all filed amendments. And October 18th through 24th, the SEC should be able to decide on 6 XRP ETFs. Now, I understand the government is shut down, and the SEC is not really commenting on any types of ETFs at this time because they're understaffed. And the reason why I say understaffed is because most of the staff is not working because of the shutdown. They're operating in a limited capacity. That's what I should have said. But silver lining here is that on September 17th, the SEC introduced generic listing standards for crypto-based ETFs. So it's very unclear if these are going to be approved or not. Moral of the story, we really don't know which way the market is going. I do know in 2021, we did see 2 really big market corrections, and one of them only led to the bear market. But we also didn't have institutions coming in like we do today because they weren't able to. Now they are.